Hey everybody, Final Flame Productions back with another Dexter video, and today we talk about Dexter Original Sin, the first episode of the new season. This is the prequel show of Dexter, and the first opening scene was the one that I think people were intrigued about to see would there be any information given or any more insight into what happened to Dexter at the end of the season of Dexter New Blood, where he was shot by Harrison, and we know that this is going to lead into Dexter Resurrections. So this opening scene we got really didn't show much more than the trailer showed. Dexter was at the back of a police car being taken to the hospital, and we presume that he was being taken by Angela's police car and taken to hospital. We do not see who takes him. So Dexter is alive and out of it, but it's the show pretty much goes from there straight into a flashback of young Dexter when he was born, and we get to see young Dexter with young Deb and young Harry, and that's where the show starts. And my overall thoughts, just as an overall thoughts on the show, is that it was pretty good. I don't think it was anything special. I don't think it was a disappointment. It was just kind of what I expected it would be. The cast so far is doing a really good job. Patrick Gibson as Dexter, it's a tough act to follow, and not to say that he's depending on Michael C. Hall's voiceover, but it does help give Patrick Gibson a sort of an authenticity, and it does bridge that gap between such an iconic performance by Michael C. Hall to have his voice there, older Dexter speaking. But yeah, Patrick Gibson is terrific. He is exactly what you would want in a young Dexter. It's the question of over the season or more seasons is if he's going to essentially be doing the same thing that Michael C. Hall was doing in previous Dexter seasons. Is this just kind of at some point going to become a glorified reboot, a glorified kind of remaking of the old show? But at the moment there is some interesting things, there is some relationships and some intriguing answers we may get to what Dexter's life used to be. Whether that's enough to sell the show on, I'm not sure, but at the moment it's pretty interesting. And in terms of waiting for Resurrection, you could be watching worse, I guess. I did think that Christian Slater as Harry is solid as well. He's such a good actor, very likable actor, and he as Harry, there is nothing wrong with it. I just did have the thought that could James Remar have been de-aged, the original Harry Morgan actor? I've seen him recently, he looked pretty damn good, so I mean, I wondered, was that ever a thought? I think that Christian Slater is excellent. Just had that thought, but by the end of the episode, Christian Slater had certainly felt like a character that I got to know and cared about. The actress who plays Deb, Molly Brown, she's terrific. You kind of think at the start she's doing the cursing, that might be all there is to the performance, that it's maybe caricaturing what Deborah is, but no, her performance and her character gets plenty to do in this episode, and I think that she fits it perfectly. And essentially we've got Patrick Dempsey here, we've got Sarah Michelle Gellar, all excellent actors, and you get the impression by the end of the season they're going to have a lot more to do. They're just kind of introduced at the moment. This first episode was really all about Dexter, Harry, and Deb, and for that it's very, very watchable. There's not a lot you can say wrong with it. I did think the music is a little bit when I mean music, I mean the retro music, like kind of established pop and rock songs, was a little overused. I mean, I like a lot of the songs used, but I did feel like it was a little bit kind of overdone, and I hope that they don't try to kind of Stranger Things and kind of play the retro thing too much, because I don't really think it's needed. But yeah, like having the old music back, the score and the opening title sequence was excellent. Have original actors, having original scores and references that work and aren't too on the nose. Michael C. Hall, as I said before, he adds credibility as the voiceover, and I just think it's kind of you couldn't do without it, because it's the Michael C. Hall kind of delivery of those inner monologues is terrific. And I thought the second half of the episode, where we get the revelation about the nurse Mary, who is supposed to be caring for Harry when he has his heart attack, I thought that was classic Dexter in terms of I didn't see it coming, and it felt like a really interesting moment and a really interesting subplot. And I think it's classic Dexter. It's that bad person that Dexter has to go after, and there was something satisfying about Harry whispering the word "stop her," and I know by the end of the episode, Harry isn't exactly overjoyed with how what Dexter's becoming, but I thought that was a cool scene. And in general, the show is very, very good. I think fans seem to be liking it. I know some of the reviews have been sniffy, and you can kind of understand, does this show need to exist? At the moment, from what we've seen, we probably think it does seem like a bit unnecessary, but to be honest, maybe there is some interesting things that this show does, and maybe it tackles some things that we didn't tackle in the original show's run. So it'll be interesting, I think. I mean, will we see older Dexter more, or will that only come at the end of the season when we bridge to Dexter Resurrection? I'm not sure. I don't get the impression we're going to get much more insight and information into what's happening with Dexter in present day. I feel like by the end of the season finale of this, we will. But it's interesting. I think it's probably going to be as good as it could be. Prequel shows, they're hit or miss, and sometimes you wonder if there is much point to them. But this is definitely watchable. It's very well made. I think the script's pretty damn good so far. Hasn't done anything too stupid. So I hope it keeps the tone. I hope it doesn't caricature characters, and I don't think it's done that so far, which is good. So yeah, what do you guys think? Are you eager to watch more, or is it something that you're just gonna catch up whenever you get time, or is it something you really did not like at all and thought it was boring? Let me know in the comments, and I will have more news and reviews about all things Dexter coming soon. Thank you.